Decorator is a function which takes another function as arguments, adds some kind of functionality. For existing function, you're going to add some kind of functionality and then returns function without altering the source code of the original function that is passed as argument. So here the two important keyword is you're going to alter the existing function without altering the source code. You're not going to disturb the source code at any cost. Source code in the sense already existing code. You're not going to disturb the existing function at any cost. Only you're going to add the additional function to the existing function. So this is all about your decorator. So speaking with example, you can notice here what is the example we have taken is we are supposed to add some additional features for this function. So what is this function all about? The function is a string function. Whatever the value I'm passing for the string function, it will display as a data. Here I'm passing Sam Sugan. So what happened? The data will be passed. So when I execute hello Sam and Sugan, it will be displayed like this. Clear. So what is our task is I want this complete data, whatever the data it is printing, I want output in my uppercase. Okay. So our task is we don't think that I can able to change this data directly by mentioning dot upper. So we have taken a task that this particular string has to be made as upper. So we can't able to apply directly since this particular code is in live. It is currently using. It is a part of. Let us assume this is a part of application. It is right. It is running. This particular part code is running right now, and users are using. So you can't able to directly take the source code and you can't able to alter it. So you can able to add additional code and you can able to implement it here. So this is what you're going to do is you're going to add some additional code for the existing function and you're going to do it. A first example what we have seen is we are seen with without applying decorator. The same task is done by with applying only with the closure part alone. We didn't apply any decorator. What is closure? I told you people, you could remember that whenever you're going to apply a closure, the closure will be done with function inside a function. This is how your closure looks. Function inside a function, your closure will be a structure of your closure. So we'll go ahead with further and we'll see how to implement it. So what is the existing source code? Your existing source code is this is your existing source code, this function and the function call. Right now we are not going to apply decorator, we are going to apply only closure alone. So by using closure we can't able to give assurance that your function structure will not be your function call will not be modified. Your function structure will not be modified, but your function call will be modified when you're using closure. So this structure we are not going to disturb, it is going to remain as such. But what happened, this function call will be modified. What is the function call? You're going to call a function by using this, right? We'll be calling a function by using this string of data. Here this function called the way of calling will be modified, but your structure of a program remains same. Here this since it is the implementation of closure. When next we'll be seeing implementation of decorator where your function call and your function structure remains same. Now let us see how to implement this same program with closure alone. So we have seen previously closure, which is function inside a function. So what happens here? Initially, this is the first statement of your execution. Wherever you go, you'll be having the statement executor will be the outsider class will be executing first. So this is the first statement of execution. So when does it goes? Automatically this particular decorator function followed by string. So we know that in case of closure, you'll pass function inside a function concept, which is nothing but first class method we'll be seeing it. So what happens here, decorator of string will be passed as a parameter. So this string is taken as an argument. So this function call happens directly, it goes here. So this could be a second line of execution. So it comes here. Once it comes here, you can notice that this parameter fun, which is received with the parameter what you have passed here for the decorator function. So string is assigned for fun. Right now, fun is a function. It is not a normal variable. It is a function which holds the other function, a string. Okay. And after this, looking at here, you can notice that there is one function definition inside this decorator, but we didn't call this function definition. It is just declared inside this function. So it is not going to disturb here. After this, the next line of execution will be this. So what happened? This will return cap function. So does it know what is cap function? We doesn't know it of worry what is cap. When I execute this deco function, it will return a cap function. So where does this cap function stores? This cap function has been stored here. You can notice that it is written by using the function called decorator function. So this cap function is stored with the name called deco function. So what happened right now? Your deco function is a function which is initialized with the other function called cap function. So now I'm going to call this deco function. So this deco function is a person who is going to decorate this string function. So if at all this string function has some parameter, then you're supposed to pass parameter value here. Okay, I'll be passing parameter value here. This data is passed. So right now will be called deco function. Who is deco function? Cap function is a deco function. It goes up. Right now your cap function is executed. And this part, what is the element I'm passing? Arguments. I'm passing name of the person. So these data will be received in star args. Star args is nothing but we have seen already whenever we are having multiple inputs as a argument, we are not sure about the number of arguments. In those cases, you can mention star args. Clear. And next is after executing this, what happened? It will go inside. You can notice that what is there here. One data is there, that is your function call return fun of args. There's a function call is there. Okay, this is the next line of execution, which is nothing but this is a fourth statement of execution. Once it comes up, this is your fourth statement. Overall function call is a fourth statement. Then it will concentrate only on this part alone. Okay, once this part is called, automatically where does it come? You can notice that it will be automatically redirected to the function. So where is fun? What is fun? Fun is a function called string. So it will be redirected here. So with this two argument will be redirected. Hello with the data will be displayed. Again after doing this we are not printing here. We are throwing this data back to your function call. Where is your function call right now? This is your function call right now. So this data will be back. So right now this entire data, you can notice that this entire data will be thrown back as your output of this function call. So now this data will be made as your uppercase. I guess your input is clear with the closure. It will be made as a uppercase now. And after doing this, what happened? This particular data will be returned back. It will be returned back to this function call and we are going to print only here. This is the last statement of your execution. Okay. This is all about your closure which we see yesterday. Okay. Now I'll move further and I'll go ahead with the implementation of decorator. Till this, are you clear guys? Come on, respond me. Are you clear? The same concept? Okay, good. The same concept, what you're going to do is we are people are supposed to take care of this calling a decorator function, then this function should return a value, then I'm passing it, right? All those tasks is not necessary when you're going with the closure. The reason is what I told you, whenever we are going to implement decorator, whenever we are going to add some functionality for an existing function, I should not change my function definition as well as my function call. I should not disturb the existing source code. In those cases, what you're supposed to do is a very simple operation. The same decorator is going to be there, but one additional changes the same function call. You're not we can notice that your program is same, your function is same, and your function call is same. The same function, what I explained you early, the same function. Here instead of writing these two steps, just we can write at the rate, this at the rate symbol which means the decorator. There are different types of decorator guys. Getter method, setter method, property decorator. We'll see one by one. Okay. So we will have at the rate will be there. Okay, at the rate and followed by the function which is going to decorate this function. I'm supposed to mention the decorator function here. That is sufficient. It is not required to write these many quotes. The operation you can write it, you can able to write at the rate followed by the function name. It is not a keyword, it's a function name. Once you are writing like this, what happens? This decoration function happens internally. As we see map, You could notice that in case of map, we are not concerned about the iteration. By default, iteration is taken care, right? The same way, in case of decorator, you are not supposed to take care of the all the internal return process. All those things is not required to take care of us. Your compiler by itself take care. That is the implementation of decorator. Now is this decorator clear? Shall I move to getter setter method? Come on, make a quick response. Okay, good. Now we are going to move on to next important topic, that is nothing but getter setter method. I'll take a separate page, just a minute. Let us save this one. Okay, let me clear this. Okay. So first topic, what you're going to see is we people are going to see about property decorator. As I told you that multiple decorators are there. The first one you're going to see is property decorator. By today's session, we'll be seeing all those inheritance polymorphism concept, guys. Okay. Afternoon. Today we'll complete morning with the decorator. All the decorators we can complete it. So right now let me write a small program for this property decorator. So let us assume we are going to declare a employee class. So let the class name be employee. Okay. And inside this class, let me have this employee class here. EMP as my object. And for this employee class, let us assume I'm going to pass three name. Okay, three data I'm going to pass it. What is that I can pass? Okay, Sai as a first name. Okay, and Ram as a second name. Hmm? Ram as a second name, and let the salary be, just a minute, it is getting overwritten, and let the salary be 80,000. Okay, I'm going to pass these three information for a class. So when will we pass this information? So when object is created, who will be called? So when I here, this process is the creation of object. When I'm creating object, who will be called, for whom you're passing these values, guys? Can you recall it? We have seen yesterday. When will be passing parameter for object? Normally we'll never pass parameter value for a object. This is object creation. Good Siddharth. We'll never pass parameter value for a object. When will we pass it? Okay, who will be called when I'm creating object? So this question will be clear for you people. Who will be called by default when object is created? Good. Init method will be called, not class, Divya. Init method. So by default, when the object is created, without invoking who is called, init method is called. So I'm going to pass these data for my init method. So let me define diff double underscore init double underscore, and here I'm going to pass, I'm going to access this by using object. So first parameter will be self. I'm going to pass first name as well as last name and followed by salary. As they had given you clear information, what are these variables? These variables are parameterized variable. Okay, and this variable can be is a local variable which can be accessed only within this init function. Parameterized variable or local variable, they can be accessed only within this init boundary. Okay, and here let me assign self dot. So this self dot first, what does it mean? This self dot first is the instance variable. Yesterday I given example with the same variable name as well as this different variable name. Okay, here let me use same variable name and self dot last as self dot salary assign salary. So these are the instance variable I'm initializing here. And now if I want to form email ID based on this, I can form it self dot email assign self dot first plus followed by dot operator and followed by self dot last plus I can mention at the rate of email.com. Okay. So first, last and followed by email. Just I'm forming an email ID. This is a general init method. I mentioned it. So if at all I want to form a full name, I can able to form with the existing parameter. What are the variable is there? I can form a full name. I didn't get the full name from the user. I'm just forming the full name here. Full name there should be lowercase, guys. Sorry for it. Should be lowercase. Okay. So if I want to have a full name, I can mention return self dot first plus followed by full name will be followed with a space, right? Sai space followed by self dot last. So I'm forming full name and last name. Okay. Sorry, I'm forming email ID and full name. Right now, let me execute this program. We can add additional features to it. So just I'm calling this function and followed by let me give print object dot full name. Since I'm giving inside printers, this function is going to return some value. So I'm not going to have, I need some variable to receive it. Instead of it, I'm putting inside print itself directly. If I execute this, what happens? Something function call, right? We didn't mention function call. So it is giving object, that's it. So what happens now? A very simple process, guys. I didn't stack anything here. Look at here carefully. So what we are doing here is we are just passing Sai as first name, Ram as last name, and salary 80,000 here. So these data has been received here and has been initialized for my instance variable, and email has been formed here. Now after to this, just I'm calling full name. So what happened? Full name has been initialized with whatever the data we have passed. Now let me go further. I guess you people are clear with this. I didn't give any complex process here. Just very simple process I did. Is this clear so far? Shall I proceed? I didn't complete the program for properly decorated. It's a general program, guys. After this only, you're going to apply it. Okay, good. You people are clear, right? Now, the same way, if you want to print the email, you'll be printing like this. Print emp dot email. Here you can notice that this email is the variable and this full name is the method. So what I'm giving is whatever the data is passed, if I call email, email will be formed. The same way, if I call full name, this full name will be formed by based on the value what you're having. Clear with it? Now we are going to do some additional tasks, which is nothing but after initializing this data, what I'll do is I'm going to modify my first name alone. Okay. First name or last name. Or we can modify the last name. Okay, she will modify as Baba. Some name. Okay. Sairam. Our last name is modified as Baba. Here I'm modifying it. Now let me try to execute it. You can see the no difference. What is it? So now I'm going to execute it. You can notice that what happened previously. Just a minute, I'll command it. I'll show you this one. So previously, no changes at all. Whatever the value I'm passing, this value has been formed. And when I call emp dot full name, this full name has been initialized. It has been printed. Same way, if I call email ID, the email ID is printing fine. After initialization of data, when you try to change the first name or last name or salary, then I'm trying to print it. Now you can notice that your full name, what is the full name? Full name is displaying as Sai followed by Baba. It is printing it. But look at your email ID. It remains as sai.ram. What is the reason behind it? So actually this email ID should be a sai.baba at the email.com. Why it is printing as Ram? Can you people give reason for it? Why this particular email ID is not modified, but your full name is not modified, but why not this email ID? This last name remains same. Why it is so? Okay, Maurya. A self dot last. Then why this also should be modified, right? Your answer is right, Maurya. Self dot last. Since self dot last is okay. Okay, Vasudev. It is good. Vasudev, correct answer. Good. Yeah, just think to it. Why this particular mail ID is not modified, but the full name is modified? What could be the reason here? Okay. So when this particular okay, what is that? Uh, So it is passed through EMP. Okay, it is passed through EMP. Why? What happens? What happens? It is passed through EMP. Your answer is right, but not the exact exact reason I'm expecting for. So when the statement will be executed, okay, listen, yeah, we'll say the exact reason. When the statement executes, we can notice that this data will be initialized. Okay, which means that when the object is created, this will be initialized. So when the statement execute, does the object initialize? No, object initialization never happens. When the first time it is initialized, all the value whatever is there in the default during your object creation will be initialized. So which means that when your object creation happens, this data will be initialized, and after that when you're trying to modify the instance variable of your program, it is not modified. Okay, and moreover, sorry, it is modified, but what happened if the particular data is not there in the just a minute. I'll go with the example to make you clear. You can notice that full name is the element which is outside your init method, isn't it? This is a separate method which is outside your init method. So now when it look for the first name, it will display as Sai. When it look for a last name where the last name is updated, so it will take only data from here. The updated data will be taken for last. But what happens for this particular email id? This email id would have formed when this particular function is called, right? So when this function is called, this email ID would have created. And after this, we didn't have any function called email ID to rewrite it again. So this will be executing only once at the beginning of a program. And after this, it will never be executed. So after this, wherever you call this email ID, the old formed email ID will be displayed. The data will not be updated. Is that clear? Guys, is everyone clear why this particular second email ID is not updated but name is updated? Is this clear? Just respond me. I'll go further. Okay, good. Others? What happened? Few people are quiet. Okay, okay, Shant, good. Okay, good. Now, if you want to resolve this, didn't get. Which one you didn't get, Samir? Why it is updating or not updating? Okay, let me repeat it. So, when this data will be updated? Okay, this data will be updated when there is. Okay, I'll write separately a text box here so that it will be clear. You people will be clear. So what happened when the object is created, it will come here. Your first name will be initialized, isn't it? Your first name will be initialized as Sai. And your last name will be initialized as Ram. And your salary will be initialized as whatever the value you're passing it. Okay. And after forming this, it goes down. It goes down. And here what does it does? Your last after forming this, one more operation is done. Your email ID is formed. Okay, it is forming your email ID sai dot ram at the rate of email.com. This is formed. After forming this only, the next line of this program executes, which is nothing but where the last name has been updated with Baba. Okay, so what happens here? So the last name is updated, but there is no way to go back and update my email ID. So since this init will be executed only when the object is created. And after this, here I'm not creating an object, just I'm reassigning my instance variable. Okay, so self last.emp has been this last name has been modified. Now after this, if I call my full name, so full name will look for the first name. The first name is Sai, but what is the updated last name? This could be the updated last name. This is a old name and this could be the updated last name. So this updated last name will be initialized. Okay. So this is what happens here. But when I'm printing email ID, this will print your original data. This will never be formed. This is what happens here. We'll see the next one, how to do it. Yeah, if the email ID is given there, it will never be changed. After that, if you're trying to change, it will never be changed outside. So for that, how can we do it is, the only way is what you're supposed to do. We are supposed to bring this email ID as a one more function. Diff, okay. You're supposed to bring this one, diff, followed by email and make it as a function. And here, instead of mentioning this one, you're supposed to return. You're supposed to return it. So now if you are executing this, okay, now if you are executing this, it will go perfect. So both the element will be modified. But if you feel that this email is declared already, okay, this email is declared already, I should not, just a minute, this email is declared already, I should access this variable as a variable itself. I don't want to access here. I don't want to change my function call. I want to access this email as the email itself. Got it? Guys, what I'm saying, is it clear? I want to access this email as the email. So the only way is, if you want the data to be updated, then you're supposed to call the email separately. So if you're calling this email separately, then what happens? When this object is called, the updated value will be, the reason is after init method, we are updating the last name. And after that only, you're going to call your first name and the last name, isn't it? You're going to call only these two names after that. After that only you're going to call it. So if you feel that you're supposed to modify this email also with updated value, make it as a separate function. Okay, after doing that, you're supposed to modify this email as a method call. If you doesn't modify, if you if you kept it as an email, what happened? This will return only the function object as a return type. Clear? Till this are you clear? Next I'm going to add decorator to it. Come on. Just I'm taking this line, guys, already existing line, I'm made as a separate function. That's it. So what happened after doing this updation? I'm calling these two functions. So when the function is called, it will search for the last name and the first name. So updated value will be taken for the first name and the last name. Now, if I call this email as a variable, it is not accepting. The reason is it is a function. So if you want to access a function name, this particular email as a variable itself, you're supposed to add one decorator that is called property decorator. So I'll be mentioning at the rate of property. This property is a predefined where you're not supposed to declare it. So now if I execute it, you can notice that this function is accessed like a variable. I'm not making it as a function name. You can notice that the email is a function but is accessed as a variable. Is it clear? This property, this method of accessing is called getter method. This is a getter method. Guys, are you clear with the getter method? Yes, property is applied only for this email. You're trying to access the email as a variable, right? I'm not accessing as a method. I'm trying to access it is previously a variable. For my convenience, I made as a method. So if you want to access a variable by itself, your functionality should not modify. In those cases, you're making it as a function. Try it. You want to make this as a property for this full name also. So if you do this one, what you're supposed to do? What happens? It is printing print email as a error. So guys, don't confuse with this full name. We'll see the full name with the next one. Next we are going to deal with the full name only. Okay, don't confuse with right now. So if you're applying, that's possible. Indentation problem. Just a minute, I'll modify it. It is possible. Don't confuse with it right now. What is the submit? Change before applying the property. Change before and after property applying. So after applying property, want to change it. How you are asking, I can get it. So then you're supposed to make the changes. Again, you're supposed to call a function. So you want to make this one. Okay, I'll do it. Just a minute. Just wait a minute. Guys, just a minute. Let me command this. Right now, I'm not dealing with it. So let it be function itself. As you people want call this email before and after, I'll call it. Okay. Just a minute. Look at here. So before applying the changes, so for before applying the changes, initially when it is called, so initial data passed is Ram and Sai and Ram. So based on this, email is created. Okay. After that, I'm changing last name as Baba. Then I'm trying to print my full name and email ID. You can notice that the last name has been modified. Previously, this doesn't happen, right? Now, can you people find the difference? Is it clear? Come on. Is this clear? Yes. Okay. Others, only one of you are responding. Others, make it fast. Come on, guys. What happened? I didn't start with this property. Okay, good. And next is, we'll good. Next is we'll go ahead with the setter property. One of the another important method. For the same program, let me copy paste this program at down. Okay. For the same program, if I keep on stacking, sometimes you people will be confused. So I'll copy paste here separately. Now, let us assume I want to pass value for this full name. Okay. I want to pass some value for this full name. For example, I want to change the value of it. For example, what could I do here? Just my first name, email ID is there. And after this, emp dot full name if I want to pass some name like XYZ, some Arun Kumar, some name I should pass it. Okay, I should pass some name. Is that possible? Full name is just a method which consists of first name and last name. Is that possible for me to pass the value for the full name? So this is your first name and this is a last name. Arul is the first name and Kumar is the last name. Is it possible for passing a function directly like this? If I pass, what happens? It will throw us an error, right? It's not possible for us to pass like this. When I execute this, you can notice that what happened, we didn't call it after this. Okay. After this, we should call it. So you can notice that str object is not callable. It is throwing some error message. So I can't able to pass the values like this. Since first name is this full name is a combination of first name and last name, it is not possible for me to do like that. If at all you want to do it, I should add one more property for I should add property decorator for it, And even then, after adding property decorator, when I try to execute, you can notice that you'll be having the same error. The reason is I'm supposed to accept this input from the user and I should set for this full name existing function. So for that, what you'll be doing is you'll be declaring one more function called full name. The same name for which function you want to accept input directly from your function call. For this function call, you're supposed to declare one function with the same name. For existing function, you'll be mentioning def function followed by self, comma, from the user what you're accepting a name, right? So I can mention directly as name. So here what does that name denotes? This particular name denotes whatever the value you're passing here. The value passed is Arul and Kumar is the input I'm passing here. So name denotes Arul Kumar. So this has two names. So what is our work is to have this particular name to separate it as a two name. First name and the last name has to be separated. Now you'll be separating by using self dot first assign will be made as Arul, okay, and self dot last name has to be made as a Kumar. So how this can be done? Yes, you can able do you can able do by using a split method, just by mentioning self dot first assign comma self dot last assign name dot split. So whenever there is there will be a space between the first name and the last name. Guys, is this clear? Just I'm passing this value, right? This value is received in a variable name called name, and I'm going to split this name based on the first name and the last name, and I'm going to store in a two separate variable. Okay, for which method I want to apply it? I want to apply for the full name method, isn't it? So I'll apply like this at the rate of full name dot, and what is this property? This property is a setter property. So this is a getter property we have seen earlier, right? So if you want to access the method as an email, I'll be using getter property. So if you want to assign some value for a method as you assign for a variable, if it's a full name, how will you assign? I'll be assigning directly, isn't it? If a variable is a full name, we'll be assigning the variable name directly as like this. So right now this particular full name is not a single variable. Full name is a combination of first name and the last name. So if the user imagine full name is a single name, if they give input like this, you should you should place this first name in appropriate position, last name in appropriate position. In those cases, what we'll do is we'll have one setup property for a class. Here, whatever the name I'm passing will be splitted based on the space and will be stored in a first name and the last name. We'll be storing like this, and here we'll be making as at the rate of full name. So if I apply like this, what happens? This property after splitting, this property will be applied for this full name, and here whatever the data you're passing, this data will be taken as two data, first name and the last name. Then it will be substituted. Now let us try to execute this one. Here we are trying to access we are trying to initialize the data for a full name as we initialize for a normal variable. So this is all about accessing a method as a normal variable. Here we are trying to access the email method as a normal variable, so that we add this getter method. Here we are trying to initialize the method as a normal variable. So we'll be using setter method. Now let us execute this. What happens to whether it's executed? 19 full name. Just a minute, let me check to it. What happens here? So it's a proper decorator, right? We should remove this one. We are up a decorator here. What is missing? Print email. So the last execution is taken again. Print email. So we changed it, but here also. Oh god, I didn't notice that. Okay, listen. So initially what I'm doing is I'm passing the some value Sai and Ram, and this data will be initialized for it, isn't it? And after that, I'm just trying to access my full name. Now right now, what is the full name? Full name is taken for default name is there, and there is no issue at all. So default name is full name, first name is Sai and last name is Ram. It will be taken. Okay. And after that, email whatever it is there. Here, sorry guys, Sai and Baba. It is we updated this last name, right? So updated last name will be taken Sai followed by Baba. It will be forming as full name. And when I mention email, so based on the updated value, Sai and last name as Baba, it will form an email ID here. Now this is done. And here the first process is completed where we try to access this email as a normal variable and we were trying to access this function as a normal variable. But actually these two persons are a function. Whenever there is a function, I should apply parameter, but I'm trying to access the function without parameter. This is all due to this setter property. So I'm making this as a, sorry, getter property. Getter mark, this is not a setter. So this is a getter property. So getter property enables us to access the method as a normal variable. Okay, this is a method. A method will be accessed as a normal variable like email and full name, isn't it? And next is I'll be trying to set some value for it. This is all those things are getter. So, you're getting input from the getting input and you're assigning it. And I want to set this full name with the value Arul and Kumar. Okay, Arul Kumar as a single name. Here, but this full name is a method which is not accessible directly like a variable. For a variable, I can do it. Number assign 10 or number assign some string directly, I can do it. But for a method, it's not possible to do directly. So in those cases, you're supposed to declare a setup property. So whatever the value passed for a setup property, I'm going to split the first name and the last name. The name will be splitted based on the spaces, and the first word will be stored in the first name, and the next word will be stored in the last name. And after this, when I call my first name, okay, this will be updated. So this first and last is not only for the current method, for only not for a full name. You can notice that after this, whenever you call this first and last, where this first and last will be updated only with Arul and Kumar. You can notice that I'm calling this emp dot full name. So when I call emp dot full name, this when this full name is when I assign this emp dot full name, this operation happens. And after this, when I call emp dot full name, this particular full name will be formed based on Arul Kumar only. Okay. And after this, I'm trying to follow emp dot email. Email will be formed based on the string Arul Kumar. So this is all about the setter property, setting a value for a variable. Clear with it? So you'll be having MCQs with getter setter property. You should know how to identify it, what they done there. Guys, is that clear? Just trying to access the method as a normal variable. Come on, respond me. Clear, right? Okay, good. Guys, if you find some doubt also let me know. I know that these properties are something little advanced. Okay, closure, decorator, getter setter are little advanced concepts which they will be using in a real-time applications. Okay, fine. You people are clear. And next is same way we are having one more property called deleted property. What is that, Samir? Which is the difference between those in the sense getter and setter you're asking? Are you asking? Yes, okay, fine. Getter in the sense it is used for assigning. You can notice that it is used for calling. Getter method, what happens is you'll be trying to access a variable as a normal variable. Accessing variable as a normal variable, function as a normal, accessing function as a variable type. So that is all about the getter. Here this email is a function and this full name is a function. But how I am trying to access? As a variable I am trying to access. This is all about a getter. Setter in the sense assigning value for it. You can able to set some value for a variable. Setting value is called setter method. Okay, you'll be setting a value. I'll be passing Arul Kumar and this name as a full name will be set for first name separately, last name separately. And I can able to access it. This is all about a setter method. And next is we'll go over to the only one more method is available, that is deleted method. So normally I told you that how what is deletion method in this is just deletion of it. In a previous class also we have seen if you want to delete a string or something I can use deleted method just by using del of. Here if I want to date a object, I'll be mentioning del emp dot full name. Let us assume you want to date the full name. Okay, I can call this dater method del emp dot full name. If I call this one, a dater method will be called. So where I'll show you what happens. Let me type this one. Whatever the value initialized for a variable will be deleted. That is all about a dater method. For dater method, we'll be mentioning def followed by full name. You're going to just full. This name can be repeated, not an issue. Just let me declare it. And this is all about a dater method. So at the rate of full name dot deleter. Guys, I'll explain you. Give me a second. Let me type it and explain you what is this. So here I want to reset my full first name self dot first assign none. None in the sense no value. I'm making it as all these things to clear a memory. Self dot last assign none. And after this print my full name deleted. Okay, this is there. And after this, let me try to call this these two statements, or only just let it be. Okay. What happened? Which line? Just a minute, guys. For your understanding, let me try to print here. Just a minute. Full name. Give me a second. Just a minute. I'll explain you what is all about this data. Still, the statement is there. Just a minute. Okay, that's right. Listen here. It's like executing properly only. Listen here. Data method in the sense you're going to deallocate a memory for a variable. Okay. So when I call this data method, all the allocated values will be deallocated. So I guess you people are clear till this. So normally you can able to date an object. If you want to date one object called emp, I'll be mentioning del followed by emp. So this object will be deleted, it will be removed. Okay, this is all about dating an object. Let us assume you want to delete an variable. Whatever the variable is there, you want to reset it. You want to make it as null value. In those cases, it can be done by mentioning del followed by object dot followed by the full name. So if I call this one, the full name is the method name what I mentioned here. So I can mention del followed by the full name. So this method will be invoked. And here what happened, first name will be initialized to none and last name will be initialized to none. So after this full name deleted, a full name is deleted. If I try to this I given you for your understanding, guys. If I try to access this first name, your first name will be only none. Your first name will be only none. Okay, and after this I'm trying to this operation is complete. I guess you people are clear. So when I call this full data full name, automatically this data method will be called and this will happen and full name dated. And after this first name is after the self dot first name, since I've initialized to none, it will be called and this process is completed. And after this, I'm trying to show you people what will be in your full name. Right now, this full name is data, right? The first name and last name is data, so full name cannot be formed. Now, when I'm trying to access it, you can notice that unsupported operand of plus of none type. The reason is your full name is also none, your last name is also none. So if you people wanted instead of this, okay, it is not possible to do like this. Okay, let me try to print here self dot first comma self dot last. Hmm? And let us try to command this one. Okay, let it be. Write out a pen. Dot should be there. Sorry, guys. Okay, listen. Look at here. This statement is called since after this one, after printing, you can notice that here when this statement is printed, when this emp dot first name is called, this function will be sorry emp sorry, del dot emp dot full name is called. This function will be executed and full name data will be displayed. After this self dot first, so self dot first is none, so it will be displayed as none. So after this, what I am trying to do is I'm just showing you people what will happen in your full name if I try to call again. So if I try to call my full name again, what happen? It goes up, isn't it? It goes up. And here, just for your clarification, just I'm trying to print my first and last. Right now, you can notice that your first and last will be none. Since we have deleted all the variable values, it will be reset to none. When I'm trying to join two none values, it is not possible to join it. That is the reason it's throwing error here. So by using deleter, I can able to delete the memory allocated for the particular variable. I can reset it like this. So whenever you want to delete it, I can do like this. Full name method is not getting deleted. The values, if the values are reset, it is not possible. Is it clear, Siddharth? That's important. This particular getter data properties are important. Dot setter, dot data, all those things are important here. It should be there. If it doesn't mention it, doesn't know what is the operation is there. Guys, are the people clear so far? So this all getter, setter and data property has been completed. Is this clear? Shall we wind up the session? Clear, good. Okay guys, we'll wind up the session. Meet you by evening.